90.1 WECS, something different. Marky Ramone here with Jukebox Jake. Hello, Jake.
Hi there. Hi, how are you?
What do you think so far of the Hardwick Rocks Festival?
I think it's really great. It's really great to see a lot of different acts, a lot of familiar acts. It's been a really great time so far.
Are you familiar with a lot of the artists here? Do you bump into them often?
Yes, I do. A lot of the performers are from Central Mass as well as Worcester Mass, so it's really great to kind of just bump into good friends.
Awesome. So, let me ask you just a random question.
Sure.
Because I don't know much about you.
Sure.
Have you ever had a tomato thrown at you on the stage?
No, I haven't. No.
Well, that's a good sign.
No? Yeah.
What do you generally write songs about? Do you have a common topic or theme?
Yes. So when I write, it's more about difficult conversations or conversations that you can sort of empathize with. I write a lot about empathy. I write a lot about maybe difficult topics to talk about. But in the end, I try to write something that everyone would somewhat appreciate.
Awesome. Is there a venue you enjoy playing because you know there's a nearby restaurant, place, or somewhere you can go for comfort food?
Yeah, absolutely. So I used to play at Hotel Vernon, and like right by Hotel Vernon is it's a hot dog stand that's open at like 2 o'clock in the morning. And so when you're out late, like you just go across the way and just pick up a hot dog.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How do we check out? Do you have a website or socials where we can check you out?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can find me under the Jukebox Jake under Instagram. And there I post a lot of my original material, where I'm playing next, sometimes covers. You can find my Facebook link there as well. So a lot of things happen on Instagram the most. So under the Jukebox Jake.
Jukebox Jake. And I'm with Tasteless Jack. Hello, Tasteless Jack.
How's it going, my man?
So, what are you thinking so far about this festival?
I think I'm awfully impressed. I think Amanda Melly put a lot of work in and came out with something beautiful. There's a lot of great people here that I've met along the road, a lot of musicians that we've gotten to see perform so far and are going to see perform later in the night. Some of them are on right now. You can hear Frederick Chamberlain in the distance, buddies of ours that we made along the way. There's many open mics and songwriter rounds and stuff like that. It's kind of awesome to see this set up for us to finally show our stuff on a nice open stage and a festival for all these people to enjoy with vendors and food and sales. It's good stuff.
It's great community, musical community, where all the artists kind of band together to, no pun intended, band together to help each other out and perform and get that out there in the public.
Yeah,
great job. So, what makes you so tasteless?
The name Tasteless Jack came from the fact that all my songs are different. It's not really one kind of genre. Sometimes I like to whisper and stuff, be soft like a John Mayer. Sometimes I'm loud, more like a Dave Matthews.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of like not to fit into one pocket or another and stuff like that. I always felt like I was never anyone's taste in music, you know what I mean? But I like to think that my music is okay. Just like I'm out here doing what I do.
Great story behind that. So, I'm going to ask you some random questions.
Sure, go for it.
Are you ready for this?
I'm always ready for random questions. That's how I used to ice break when I was a teacher back in my heyday.
Which grade level?
I used to teach middle school and high school.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Middle school is the hardest.
Well, definitely prepared me for high school.
Tell me about a memorable interaction with a fan.
A memorable interaction with a fan. Honestly, it's just noticing certain things, like even Derek, who performed with me, Derek Acoustic over there, showed up to one of my shows and noticing that he noticed I was playing and came out to an Otter River Pub show. You know what I mean? Little things like that could be very impactful to me, just someone showing up just when they notice, versus someone like a little kid who's dancing during one of my songs and their parent comes up to me and enjoys it and grabs one of my stickers and hands it to one of them, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Little things like that is definitely it's a difference maker, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, Spotify numbers only matter so much versus the actual human interactions that you're having with your music. And that's what it matters to me.
Excellent. Are you going to be playing anywhere in the area in the near future?
Yes, I'm going to be performing, I believe, on the 16th at Altruist Brewing with alongside Abby Lamar and Samantha Herman, who's also playing here tonight. So Samantha will be playing here tonight. Check it out.
Excellent. And how do we get in touch with you? Websites, socials, what do we do?
Check me out at Tasteless Jack or at tastelessjack.com to see other shows that I'm putting on and stuff like that, other performances. I do a lot of booking. So if you're an artist and you're trying to get dates and books and things that are going on like that, if you're ready to step into this game of performing, hit me up on the socials and I'll try to get you a spot somewhere.
Excellent. Thank you, Tasteless Jack. 90.1 WECS, something different. Marky Ramone here at the Hardwick Rocks Festival, and I'm joined by Valerie Newman. Hello, Valerie.
Hello.
So, Valerie, you recently joined up the Sways?
The Swaying Trees.
The Swaying Trees.
We've been playing for about 4 years.
Oh, get out.
Yeah.
Last time I saw you, you were by yourself. Okay.
Oh, I have lots of different
I
things
thought you were
do.
a solo artist. You're a woman of all trades.
I do, yeah. I have some duos, some solo, a couple bands.
So how do we find your music?
I'm on all the streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple, YouTube, all that stuff. Facebook, everything you can look on, I'm there.
How do we find you on socials?
Just type in my name, Valerie Newman.
Valerie Newman.
And then Swaying Trees for my full band, or yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to ask you some random questions. You ready?
Oh, no, I'm not.
Who would you like to join with you on stage?
Of anyone?
Yeah.
In the world?
Yeah.
Mike Patton.
Wow. Mike Patton, wasn't he originally with Faith No More?
Yes.
He was like the second lead singer.
Yep.
Of Faith No More. And then he went on to do what, Mr. Bungle?
Yes.
Oh my God.
And lots of other things. But when I saw him play with Tomahawk, and I met him, and he signed my shoe. And
you still have it today?
I do still have it today. Yes.
Have you ever signed anything for a fan?
I have signed things, and it does make me feel like a famous person, even though I'm not.
What grounds you?
What grounds me? So I hike and I ski and I play music and I do art, painting, and yeah, that's what grounds me. I do like nature a lot. When I have a pond across the street and I like canoe and stuff. So,
oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm very lucky.
I saw your painting over at the artist gallery there. Amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Super talented.
Oh, thank you.
Valerie Newman of the Swaying Trees. Did I get it right that time?
Yeah.
Yeah. I keep thinking of Screaming Trees with Mark Lanigan.
It's a little different.
A little different. But amazing performance today.
Thank you so much.
Overall, what's your thought of today's festival?
I'm having a blast, and I think it's a total success. And there's a lot of people and a great vibe, and everybody's happy, so it's awesome.
Bright sunny day. Everybody's having a great time. Hardwick rocks at the Hardwick Vineyard and Winery. I'm with Valerie Newman. Thank you very much. 90.1 WECS, something different here. Marky and Ramone here at the Hardwick Rocks Festival at the Hardwick Vineyard and Winery. I'm here with Seth Newton. Hello, Seth.
How are you? Hello. So good to be here.
I was just, kind of amazed over in the corner of the gorgeous view of the mountains, and all of a sudden I hear like the ghost of Jimi Hendrix wailing the Star-Spangled Banner. I look over, and there was Seth on the roof of the Hardwick Vineyard and Winery playing the Star-Spangled Banner. Amazing. Amazing performance.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun. It was totally impromptu, last minute. They go, hey, do you know the Star-Spangled Banner, the national anthem? I said, not really. And they go, do you think you can figure it out? I said, yeah, probably. They go, we want to put someone up there and blast it out. I said, all right, hey, I'll give it a go. So I kind of tried to, I was like, all right, it's a rock fest. I'm going to try to channel some Hendrix here. Got my wah pedal, got everything going, and it was a blast. It was awesome.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah, rock and roll.
All right, so Seth, I've got some questions here. Maybe you can help me with. How would your ultimate tour van be tricked out?
Ooh, ultimate tour van. Hey, what's up?
Media.
question. Gosh, I've never had that. I would say ultimate. I mean, no holds barred. Anything. Okay.
Do what you gotta do.
Wow. A studio. A meditation room.
Ooh.
An axe throwing lane. Let's see, a tattoo parlor. And gosh, maybe just a really nice, comfortable, like rustic living room style room with a cool little bar.
To hang out with
yeah,
friends?
and family, everyone. Anyone
Perfect.
wanted to be there, yeah. Just like enjoy time together, yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Make sure you invite me to join you.
Oh yeah, hey, if I ever get that place, you're there, man.
So tell me, what do you think of the Hardwick Rocks Festival so far?
It's amazing. I wasn't sure what to expect. It's the first year, but I know Amanda, I know John, the owner of the Vineyard, and they put so much work into it, and they're both such go-getters. They're both very active people. You know, when they have a dream or they have something they want to manifest, they just go for it. So I had faith in them. But you know, you just don't know what's going to happen first time around. The weather was really weird all week. We weren't sure, but I had a feeling it was going to turn around. And it's like not only is it beautiful, beautiful weather, but there's tons of people here already. The sound is great. Everything looks awesome. There's so much to do. It's awesome. So far, so good.
Yeah, you look around and everybody's like got a smile on their face, having a great time.
They're already going for next year. Those guys, yeah, they're wild.
I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome. I definitely. They said I'm already invited back, so I'm pumped.
So Seth, how do we? Where any shows coming up that we can go to?
Yeah, I've got a couple smaller local shows after this, and then I'm also going to Iceland in September for a couple shows.
Oh wow!
Yes, so I'm very excited about
Awesome.
that. But I do have some shows right around this area: Athol, Hardwick, another one in Hardwick. Actually down at the Stone Church, which is now a cultural center.
Yep.
So that'll be the last show before I head off to Iceland. It'll be like a birthday / tour send-off show.
Awesome.
So lots
Happy
of shows.
birthday.
Thanks. A little early, but yeah, I appreciate
I should celebrate my birthday that way.
Yeah, you want to come to Iceland? I'll get working on that van.
So how do we get in touch with you? Website or socials?
Oh yeah, I've got everything. If you look up, even just type my name in anywhere on Google or whatever, Seth Newton, SETHNEWTON, or if you look up Seth Newton Music everywhere, I've got a website. I'm on all of the social media, everything.
Excellent. Seth Newton here at the Hardwick Rocks Festival. Make sure you check him out. 90.1 WECS, something different. Marky Ramone here at the Hardwick Rocks Festival, and I'm sitting next to Matt Herring, who is just an amazing person. He's an author. He does podcasts, music podcasts. He is. Let's talk to Matt. How are you doing, Matt?
I am doing great. How are you doing?
Oh, this is a great festival. What do you think so far of the festival?
I'm loving the fact that every band that has been on, that we're listening to the third one right now, everybody's different. Everybody has a unique style that they're bringing, and I absolutely love that. That's the way music should be. And people here are just wandering in, and you can tell they're not fans of any one particular band or even a genre. They're just chairs up,
They're music
feet up,
fans.
just listening to music.
That's awesome. So tell me a little bit about your music podcast.
Okay, so I do a show called The Radio Eclectic. It's a monthly show where I get music from a lot of bands out there that were big in the 70s and 80s. Bands like Kansas, Styx, I've worked a lot with them, Asia, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, all these bands that are still putting out great music. There's no place for it to be played anymore. Radio doesn't do this anymore.
Yep.
So my show is sort of that love letter to an era that's not there anymore. Like I was in radio in 86, 87, 88, right out of high school, and I miss that. I miss the personality side of it, where you were more into maybe the DJ you were listening to than the music. So that's what I try to bring across with the Radio Eclectic, and it's great when I get music 2 months before it gets released from Frontiers Music. They're like, hey, brand new Mr. Big, can you play it on the show? I'm like, yeah, sure.
Wow.
Do you want to go cover the show? I'm there. So the other show that I do is 53.5, the official Striper podcast, and it covers the world of Striper. 80s metal band. Most people, when you mention Striper, they kind of look at you and you're like, Christian band? Kinda. They used to wear yellow and black. Oh my God, the Bumblebee dudes. So yeah, so they have a brand new album coming out in September. I think it's their sixth new album since 2014, 2012. They just, every other year they put out a brand new album. The music quality is as good as it was back then, if not better.
Awesome. How do we check out your podcast?
You can go wherever you listen to podcasts. So I'm on Spotify, which I have issues with Spotify like everybody else does, because they do not treat the artist fairly. But you can go there. The Radio Eclectic is the name. People will look up Electric, but it's Eclectic. You can go to Pandora Radio, Amazon, anywhere you listen to podcasts, the show is. And 53.5 is the same way. You can get it wherever you get your podcast.
Awesome. Is it an hour? Or?
Each show is about an hour because that's the attention span / drive time for most people. And that's the way I look at it. Like, I want it to be your drive to work. You know, you're in your car and you're listening, and if you get a half hour, listen to the rest of it on your way home. And I treat it like an old radio show, and I have commercials. Any friends that I have that have a business, they have a commercial in the show.
Oh, cool.
And I make no money off of it. I mean, in a sense, I probably lose money, but it's my passion, and I don't ever want to make a living out of this. I want to keep doing this as a fun thing because I feel I'm giving back to the music and the artists that gave me so much, that got me through the 70s and 80s.
I feel you 100%. I'm doing what I do free, 100% free because of the passion for the music.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm definitely going to check out your show. I don't know how to do a podcast, but I will figure it out.
And I'm the most techno non you'll ever meet. And I've been doing this since like 2011, maybe 2010, when the whole podcast thing started. And my friend and I, Brian, used to do a comic book podcast, Secret Identity, which got huge because there was 20 podcasts in the world at that time. So we got a name for ourselves during that time. And then when we switched over to doing music, and it was called the Power Chords Podcast, that was where we were able to take that audience from comic books that love music anyway and bring them with us and already have a built-in audience. And then when that show sort of kind of ran its course, I started doing the Radio Eclectic. Met up with the guys from Striper. One of the comments was, you ought to do a Striper podcast. And I said, okay. And then they were like, well, yeah, go do it. So that's how I've been doing that. And I think that's been almost 5 years, 6 years, maybe even more than that I've been working with them. And I'm lucky that every band I have worked with have been fantastic. There's been a few duds maybe here and there, like in the band, but for the most part, I am fortunate. And some great friendships have come out of it too.
Excellent.
And some great writing material.
And you're also an author. What kind of books do you write?
So currently, I'm doing music biographies. Last year I just released, or 2 years ago, was a book called The Vinyl Testament, which is the Black Sabbath history. So I went from first album all the way to the end, reviewing every album, every song, every album cover, and if a former Sabbath member released an album in that time, I've reviewed that too. So it's a complete history. It's a love letter to Black Sabbath, and I got a lot of support from. I tend to stay away from the bands when I'm working on a book with them or about them. I stay away from the bands and want to get everybody else's opinion. So each chapter ends with a famous musician, talking about why they loved Black Sabbath.
Oh, cool.
And then I did a kids book last year, which Amanda did a soundtrack for. She did a song for it. It's called Monkey See, Sea Monkey. The books are all available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, wherever you get your books. And that was a lot of fun. It's me in 1979 as these sea monkey type characters and creatures try to take over the world. It's up to my friends and I to fight them off. Easiest book I ever wrote.
Oh, wow.
And it was so much fun. And because music is such a big part of my life, I wanted a soundtrack. So I reached out to Amanda, and she was going to put together an original, but I said, you know what? You have a song called Hey Boy? I want to use that one because that's perfect. So I used that one. There's a band called Alice Loves Alien out of Connecticut. They did an original song from the sea. They got the script of the book, and they wrote a song exactly telling the story.
Oh, wow.
It's amazing. Live Say, it's a metal band out of California, wrong coast, out of Connecticut. And they gave me a song, and then a good friend of mine, Scott Fish, who's a musician out in, he was out in Ohio, now he's out in Florida. I went through his catalog, and I'm like, can I use this song? Because it fits perfect. So that's what we did. So 4 songs, there's some instrumental music, but there's a way that you can go on, like wherever my shows are, you can get the soundtrack to it. And when you're reading the book, you can pop in those songs and it'll fit in perfectly to what you're reading.
So do you have like a website or mattherring.com?
So I have, oh boy, I think it's officialmattman.weebly.com, and it's MATMAN. So more people know me as Mattman. That's been my nickname since 1978. I had a teacher, Mr. Ryan, who's no longer with us. Wasn't a big fan of him even back then, and I had a comic book behind my book, and he came by, took the comic, ripped it up in front of me, and put it down. So this is 5th grade. So this is 1978, when I guess teachers could do that sort of thing.
Yep.
And I sat there trying not to cry, and like a piece of the ad, it was a Sergeant Rock comic book. Sergeant Rock number 230. I bought it at Dairy Mart on the way, and there was an ad in there, and it was a Batman picture. So my friend Dave behind me picked it up and said, "Hey, here's Batman. We're just going to call you Mattman." And everybody called me that, and I don't know if it was meant to be like a poke and a jab to make me cry again, but that's been my nickname ever since, and it fits perfectly.
Awesome. And Matt, thank you very much for joining me.
Oh, thank you.
Definitely going to be checking out your podcast. And
you know what? Did I even mention the Chris Poland book?
No.
No, we started talking about that. Holy cow. So we were talking about that before we started recording. But my current project right now is I'm working with Chris Poland, who was the original and founding lead guitar player for Megadeth. He played on their first 2 albums, Killing Is My Business and Peace Sells But Who's Buying. So Chris and I met at a show about a year ago. I was set up selling books right across from him. And we got to talking. We hit it off really well. I said, dude, your story is the one that I want to read more than anything, because he had a really tough time in Megadeth. You're working with Dave Mustaine, who was driven, obviously still is driven, and not necessarily caring about the feelings of the musicians in his band. Chris was a young, sensitive musician. He was a jazz player, so metal was not his thing anyway, but he loved the elements that Megadeth had, a very progressive kind of metal. They were far above everybody else skill-wise back then. And Chris had a heroin habit. Everybody in the band had one. He was the worst. Got fired from the band, went into rehab 1988, and then has turned his life around completely. And we're writing that story. So the title we're working on right now, it is called Metalopolis, because that was his first solo album. So it's called Metalopolis, The Birth, Death, D-E-T-H, and Resurrection of Chris Poland. Because he's got a great redemption story. Redemption, not resurrection. That was Jesus. The redemption story. Because his story of going into rehab and never doing anything ever again, but playing music is inspiring.
We all love a good redemption story.
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Matt.
Oh, you're welcome.
And hope to hear from you soon.
Thanks for talking.
90.1 WECS, something different. Marky Ramone here at the Hardwick Rocks Festival at the Hardwick Vineyard and Winery. And I'm with the Dan Frost Band. Hello. Can everybody introduce themselves?
I'm Pat Mann.
Patrick Decker.
Matthew Marn. And I'm Dan Frost.
Dan Frost. I've seen you play. You are amazing. Now I got to see the whole band. I'm super stoked. Just a couple of quick questions for you. If your music could be described as a color, what would it be?
I would say silver.
Silver.
Blue.
Viridian.
Viridian.
It's kind of like different like melons, like papaya and watermelon, honeydew, cantaloupe, but it's like floating on the sun in like a swirling pattern. So if you can picture like a Dali painting, but with a bunch of different like cantaloupes.
I love it. I love that a lot. Let me see. Nope, that's all I have. If you, how would your ultimate tour van be tricked out? What's like one feature that you would want?
Constant air conditioning fan on my head.
Sound system. A bookcase. Blow up dolls that become real.
I love it. So, tell me real quick, what's your overall view view of the Hardwick Rocks Festival so far?
Very impressive. It looks like it was absolutely a success for its first year.
Absolutely.
It looks like a lot of people worked really hard to pull it together and succeeded grandly.
I love Hardwick. It's been a beautiful festival, very well run, very well organized. Everything's working seamlessly, and I'm just so happy to be here. Love it.
Y'all totally outdid yourselves. I mean, props to Amanda Melly particularly, and Tony Valley, and yourself, Mark, all the people who put this on. Phenomenal. Stoked.
This is an amazing festival. I hope it returns next year. Dan Frost Band, thank you very much. Awesome. Keep on rocking. And hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Thank you. I hope so.
Marky Ramone here at the Hardwick Rocks Festival with the amazing collaborator, the instigator herself, Amanda Melly. Hello.
Hi.
Amanda, everybody's having a great time. What do you? Your heart must be filled with joy right now.
I'm melting. I cried about 3 times. People are so happy. They're so grateful that anything's even happening, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I get to see it. I'm like, I'm just walking around, and there's a different pocket of different things, and I'm like, whoa, this is powerful.
It's amazing.
We have T-shirts. Come over there, see Mr. I don't even know.
Thank you, Amanda, for putting this together. Everybody's having a great time. Everybody I talked to said, thank you, Amanda.
He's a hockey player. Thank you for coming. Every single person is supporting this, so I'm thanking everybody else. Because obviously this wouldn't have happened if every single one of these people weren't here.
Yeah.
Every single one of these musicians weren't here and ready and performing amazingly. I